Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to integrate DeepLink in your Godot game in Android. So this will be specifically for Android. So basically what deep linking is that, suppose you have a web app, and for a specific URL of your web app, suppose abc.com/list, whenever I click on that particular link, and if my Android game or Android app has been installed, clicking on that link, instead of opening the browser and showing our web page, it should open my app or my game, provided my app or game is installed on the user's device. So that's what a deep link is. Now that you understood what deep link is, firstly, like I told you, we will have to create one web project. So it would be your own website or a business website or your company's website, whatever it could be. So firstly, to create website, I am using Next.js. In case if you don't know what Next.js is, it is a web framework for React.js. You don't have to use Next.js. The reason I am using Next.js is because I am more familiar with it. I am not a web developer, and Next.js is maintained by a company called Vercel, and it is very easy to deploy Next.js app to Vercel. That's why I'm using Next.js, but you can use normal HTML, CSS, JavaScript as well. There will be only a minor change which you will have to take care about it. So as you can see, I have created one Next.js project. Now what I want is that suppose my website is deployed at abc.com/abc.com, okay, but whenever user goes to abc.com/list, whenever user clicks on this link, I want to open my app or my game, whatever. So for that, to create a new screen in Next.js, typically you have to create inside your app folder, you have to create a folder. So this will automatically creates a page for you in Next.js. But whatever is the equivalent in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, if normal HTML, CSS, you can use whatever, however you create a page. I'm not really sure about that. So here I have created this list folder. It automatically creates a page for me, okay, and here inside that I have created this React component. So here you can see it is a normal React component. I am not doing anything, just an h1 tag, and here I am displaying list page of 6. Okay, now to deploy this website to Vercel, all I have to do is I needed it to push it to GitHub, which I have already done. Then I just signed up on Vercel, and then Vercel asked me to choose repository from my GitHub. I have selected this repository and deployed it as well. Now my website is deployed on this particular link. This domain is automatically created by Vercel. Okay, so if I show you this particular link, okay, so here you can see this is my main page. So this page is automatically created by the Next.js framework. I have not done anything. I have only created this /list of page, right? So if I go to /list, so this is my URL. If I open it, here you can see this header tag, h1 tag I am able to see, list page 6, right? So normal h1 tag. Okay, now instead of this list page 6, it can be anything for you. This would be your actual page content. In case if the app is not installed, you will need to display the actual page content, right? So do whatever you feel like. Now the important thing is we have now for the Android OS to know, how will the Android OS know when to open your app, right? So for that you have to create this file .well-known/assetlinks.json. Now typically this .well-known, don't forget this .well-known is located inside the root folder. So if you are creating a vanilla HTML, CSS, JavaScript file, create this folder inside the root folder, root of your project. But for Next.js, it has to be created inside the public folder. Now there is a separate issue for this. If you want to check it, you can just read through this particular link. The reason why they are telling us to create this inside the public folder is then only it will recognize this .well-known folder. Because suppose if I go to this particular folder, so this is my domain, right? Then I this dot well dash known asset links.json should be visible when you hit this particular link. So whatever is your domain slash dot well dash known slash asset links.json should be visible from a browser, then only the Android OS will know how to link it with your app. So here you can see it is visible in the browser for me. So this is the important part, this should be visible from the browser. Now what you can do is just create a folder called dot well dash known. Inside that I have created this asset links.json file. So here you can just copy paste this entire code. Now there are few changes you will have to make. The first one is this package name. Okay, so I will tell you, you will have to use the same package name on your Godot side as well. So whatever is your package name which you give it for your Godot project, same have to be used over here. I will tell you where exactly is the package name in the Godot project. And second is the SHA-256. Now currently I haven't told you how to generate this SHA-256. I will tell you later on. But everything else remains the same, so you can just copy paste everything else. Okay, now coming back to our Godot project. So here is my empty Godot project. So first thing what I will do is project install Android build template. I'll just click on install. If you are installing it for the very first time, it will also ask you to download, so it might take a little bit of time for you. I have already downloaded it, so it is just asking me to install. So the installation is done. Then I will click on project, export, add Android. I'll click on fix import. I will check this use Gradle build. Now the current device which I'm checking running on, like which I will test on, is this ARM EABI v7a. But if you don't know what is your Android device architecture, obviously we will test it on a real device, we won't be testing on an emulator. So if you don't know, just select all four of this, that's fine as well. Okay, then this is the package name. So here you will have to give your package name. So what I'll do is I will enter my package name. You will have to write your own package name. Typically it is something like com.yourcompany.name .your app name. So something like that you can use. So I'll just copy paste this. Whatever you have used inside assetlinks.json, you have to use the same thing over here. So I'll just remove this and I'll enter this. Okay, so this is the entire thing. All right, next the other thing is I have tried testing DeepLinking for a debug APK. It wasn't working for me. That's why I will show it to you only for the release version. Obviously in the end only the release version matters. Okay, so I'll just click on close for now. The next thing which we have to do is, so I'll open over here. We have to, so I'll copy paste some code inside my Godot project. I'll tell you what it is. So firstly, inside your Godot project, create a folder called add-ons. Inside that, create a folder called custom plugin. Okay, next you will have to create 3 files under inside it. First, custom underscore plugin.gd, then create export underscore plugin.gd, and third one is plugin.cfg. Create these 3 files. I'll show you the content. So I'll go over here, custom plugin underscore .gd. So basically what typically happens is that in native Android app you have to write an intent filter inside your Android manifest file. Now if you see my Godot project, if I show you the Android folder inside build, here is one Android manifest file. Okay, then here if you see inside, not in libs, I think it is in src com Godot game, no, not even here. There are 2 more Android manifest file. I'm not able to find it. One is for debug and one is for release. I'm not sure where exactly it is. Maybe it is generated on the fly when we run our debug and release APK. But anyways, here is one Android manifest.xml file, and in native Android app we typically have to write intent filters for creating deep linking, but you can't do that for Godot because that doesn't work. Like I have already tried it, so that's the issue. So to overcome that, we have to create this 3 files. So first one is custom underscore plugin.gd. It references this export plugin.gd, and this is boilerplate code. Just copy paste it, like even I don't understand much of it. Okay, Next, coming back to export underscore plugin.git. Now here is the main part. So again, copy paste this code. Here is the name is important, so whatever is your folder name, we have given it as custom underscore custom plugin, right? Same over here, we have to override this method. Now this is an important method which we have to override. If you do, by default it is false. If you don't override it, that's why we have to override this method, return true. And here you can see, like if you are from native Android background, you might recognize this. So for deep linking, basically we have to write an intent filter. Now you can just copy paste this code, but here you have to again be careful. So this should be your domain name. So my domain name is this, right? My next app -sigma.vercel.app. So whatever is your domain name, write that domain name over here. And when you want to open this, open your app, I want to open it whenever this /list URL is hit. That's why in path pattern I have entered /list. Alright, rest everything will remain the same, so you can just copy paste it. Next, coming back to plugin.cfg, again this is boilerplate code which you can just copy paste it, change the author to whatever you feel like. Then we have to go to project settings, go to plugins and check this particular checkbox. Alright, I have done this. Now we have to create a release APK. Okay, before that I'll just create one 2D scene. Okay, inside that I will create one label just so that you know, okay, my app is really working. I'll go to 2D, I'll expand this particular label, my Godot game. Okay, and I'll change the font size to almost 100. Okay, and here I will change center. Okay, so this is my simple Godot game. I'll quickly save it and I'll run it as well so that my current scene is selected. Okay, so okay, this is done. Now what I'll do is I'll go to I'll go to the documentation. So if you see, this is the documentation for it, for creating a release APK. Again, I couldn't figure it out for debug APK. Anyways, debug APK is not important. Release APK is the important part. So here you can see they are telling us to run this particular command, but again you should change this name as well as this particular name to whatever you feel like, but I'll keep it as it is. Okay, so I'll go to my terminal, I'll go to my Godot, I'll open my Godot project. So I'll go to my Godot project, drag and drop. Okay, I'll enter this command. Now it is asking me for some password, so I will just enter one password, re-enter my password. Then here you will have to enter some first name and last name. I'll just enter something, and your name of your organization. I'm not really sure what this is. Okay, I just entered. Click on enter. I'll click on 2 letter of your IN. Okay, if you want you can enter this. Now here comes the important part. Here you can just click on just type yes, then click enter, and here it generated the key store. So this is important. Now again I'll go back to my export, and here go to the release part. So okay, sorry, where is the release? Okay, so here is the release. I'll click on this particular icon, and here you can see I'll select my key store. I'll click open. Then release user is your key alias. So what is the key alias we used? It is my game. So I'll enter the same thing. I'll enter my password as well. All right, then let's see what it says. So we have, so again you can read the documentation if you want to. Then we have to export by unchecking this export with debug key option. Now once we export, the APK size would be huge. If you want to optimize the APK size, you can read this documentation. Again, I'm not interested in that. I'll just click on export project. Here is my APK. I'll just uncheck this particular option and I'll click on save. Now this will take little bit of time. Now given that we have our release APK, I want to generate the SHA-256 which was required for our assetlinks.json file. To generate that, I have this particular command which I want to show you. For debug, APK, this is the particular command, but again I couldn't figure it out. For release APK, this is the particular command. So I'll take this command, okay, I'll paste it over here. Now you have to replace firstly your password, right? So for your key pass, my password was nobody, okay, and for store pass, I'm not sure what is the difference between store pass and key pass. Like while generating the APK, it only asked us the password for the one time, right, the key store password. So I'm using the same key store password both for key pass and store pass. Next, our alias was, if you see, it was my game. I'll copy it and I'll change it over here as well. And here you will have to give your own path of key store. So I'll just remove this, and if I go to my Godot project, I'll copy, I'll just drag and drop this, so it will automatically create me my path. So here you can see this is my path. So this is the entire command which I have. Now I will just click on enter. It has generated the SHA-256 for me. So here you can see this is the SHA-256. I'll copy it and I'll again go back to assetlinks.json inside my web app and I'll paste it over here. Okay, and you will have to deploy your app again. So for me, I'll just push it to GitHub and it will automatically deploy the app for me, because Vercel takes care of that for me. Now what I'll do is I'll go to my Godot project. Now here you can see the APK has been generated for us. Now we will need to install this APK on a real device. So typically I use Google Drive to upload the APK and then I download the APK, because Android has some restrictions of downloading and APK. Even though it is a release APK, it does the Android OS does give us some trouble. Now it might vary device to device. You just have to get this APK installed. I'll quickly install it and come back. Okay guys, so here you can see my my Godot game running on my Android app. So this is my real Android device. I'm just using Android Studio to mirror my Android device because I don't use any other third-party software. So here you can see this is my Godot game. Now what I'll do is that I'll go to WhatsApp. Like I have this particular link. So if you remember, my link was nextapp-sigma.vercel.app/list. If I click on this, here you can see my Godot game was opened. If I completely close my Godot game, okay, I'll just completely close it in front of you. I'll go to my Godot WhatsApp. I'll click on this particular link, and here you can see it is taking some time to load my Godot game because I haven't did the optimization of the APK. That's why it is taking a little bit of time, but it will open it for you. And also my Android device is pretty old. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Also, again, I'm telling you one important thing. Whatever is your domain, /.well-known/assetlinks.json file should be viewable from your browser. Otherwise, your deep linking will not work. This is the main important part according to me, which a lot of people get wrong. Also, there would be one more question. What if I want to launch a deeply nested scene using DeepLink? Second question would be, how would I get some data from my DeepLink inside my Godot game? Even I don't know that. So for that I have asked this particular questions. So if you want, you can keep a track on this particular issue. If these questions are answered, you might get an answer in the future. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.